She's
I know
leaving us.
my camera is acting funky. I don't know why it did that. I'm like trying to get
It's
it to refocus.
it's humid
I
in
don't know what
Atlanta.
it's trying
It's
to focus.
I
humid in
know.
Atlanta. There's a whole lot of black people
That's how it
It is.
was in
coming in
Cancun.
town.
Should I
Literally. Yeah.
should I try to turn my camera sideways, or I don't
If you
no.
can.
Actually, I really
Unfortunately,
should,
if
just
you're
because.
using your phone, it won't go. It won't make it sideways. It'll keep it long ways.
No,
Even
it
if you
did
try to
last
put it
time.
sideways.
She did it last time
You
when
did
she
it?
had it on that thing and it kept falling off, but it was sideways.
Wait.
Oh, is the room not ready for a side
Yeah,
view?
well, I mean, I'm in a living room,
Yeah,
it's just kind of, I'm limited. I'm gonna keep it this way for now.
Okay,
This is
that's
just-
cool. That's cool.
Okay,
Oh, looks
I was
good.
gonna say, your mic though, Chris, can you move it a little closer?
it's on my phone. That's all
Oh,
I
is
have.
it? Oh, that's all you have. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Got
Let me
you,
see
got
if
you,
I
got
can
you.
turn something up though.
No, you're good because when you talk by yourself, it comes in really clear. So we just have to watch talking at the same time.
Oh,
because I can hear
okay.
you.
Yeah, Christy,
Should
you
I
have an
leave?
iPhone, don't you?
Should I take the automatically adjust mic volume off?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, and then mic. There we go. And now I can turn it up. Did I just get louder?
Yeah,
No,
you
you
got
did.
louder. Yeah,
Did
you're
I?
good. You're
Okay.
good now. You're good
All
now.
right.
You're good. Now.
Good. All right.
I think
sounds
it
good.
was going because I could hear it going. Like even on that last show we did, like when we would all be talking, we wouldn't hear you when we were talking, and
Yeah.
then
Okay.
Yeah, that might have been the automatic.
that was
Yeah.
it,
Or is it the echo cancellation? Should I turn that off too?
turn it down a little bit now. Now you're loud.
Oh, now I'm like extra loud. Sorry.
But you're also
Okay.
leaning in too.
I am, because I'm gonna sit
Okay.
right here. Is it still
Okay.
too loud?
Yeah.
Maybe just
No,
a
you're
touch.
fine right there.
Okay, and then what about? I mean, everything is it still good now?
Turn it down just a little. It's a little hot for me.
Okay. Okay. How about this? Mic check. Mic check 1 2.
Yeah, that's better. It's
Is
better.
that good, everybody?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool.
All
All
right.
right, let's do this.
All right, let's do it.
All right, let me go.
I can't see y'all.
Get your eyes on, girl.
Girl, I can't. I need to. I can't see the screen. I can't.
She can't hear because she was at a music festival all weekend,
I know. She didn't invite none of us.
dancing and just
Child.
cutting up.
Spike Lee
Didn't
did the
call
damn
nobody.
thing. I just love him so much. It was good.
I wonder, I'm going to try to run this intro and then see how it goes. Like if we were doing a live show. So I'm going to try to run this, Dana. Because that might save me from needing to edit.
Mm.
Here we go. Hey, what's up, everybody? Oh my goodness. Wow, I love that theme song. Every time it comes on, I just get all hype. I be like, you know, it's just, I be acting like
to
Christy
knock
was
all
acting.
that display
Yeah.
over back there.
Yeah,
About to
like-
be knocked out.
Right.
Come on, acting up. I'm just acting like Christy was acting at the music festival this weekend. We're going to get to that
You know,
in a second because
We are
going
going to talk about that. I'm excited to talk about that, actually.
Oh my God. First, Hilton, how are we? Hilton George, you're
look,
in the house.
I'm doing great. It has been a fantastic week. Just a whole lot of stuff leading up to the holiday. We got Labor Day is right upon us, and everybody kind of
Laborers.
take a break and just
Yes.
kind of reset. And then what happens? It's pumpkin spice season, and then
Yes.
it's
It's
over.
already.
We
It's
just
already.
slide right into the end of October. It's just like
I was in Toronto and they were trying to force me into a pumpkin loaf. I'm like, come on now.
See,
Come on, Starbucks.
the great pumpkin is the great pumpkin from Peanuts. Charlie Brown, the great pumpkin,
Yes,
got
the
you out the
great
patch
pumpkin.
waiting for him.
Got me out here. Oh my gosh, Christi Renee, how are you?
I
How
am.
is life?
Life is good. Life is good in the Big Apple. I'm still getting my
Yes.
voice back because, as you mentioned, yes, it wasn't a festival. It was literally like a Michael Jackson Prince celebration
Yeah.
in Fort Greene Park. in Brooklyn, and it was hosted by none other than legendary filmmaker Spike Lee. And he was
Right.
there from start to finish. It was the
As
dopest
he
thing.
should.
I think it was like 30,000 people there. I mean, it was, they had vendors, they had massage tables, they had food and drinks and just,
See, now that's how you know it's a black
Yeah.
affair. We just
and
got
it was free.
everything at the festival.
It was free.
We got haircuts. We got
Yes.
It's
we
like
got
BLERD
massages.
It's like BLERD
Yeah.
It's like BLERD
Look, a pop-up
BLERD
church.
Park.
Yes. You know what
BLERD
though?
in the
I
park.
really need BLERDCon. Like now that we close friends, Hilton, now that we all cool, I need BLERDCon to add massage section.
Yes.
Because we at cons, they have their cons that have people, they come out and you pay them and they do massages and they got their little setup. So don't hey, I am happy to pay these people. So
See,
you just set it up and
you're gonna
I'll
be
make
knocked
sure
out sleep.
I'll make sure they're busy all week. No, because
Hilton, Karan Ashley was not at her signing table, and I was
Right.
waiting to
I
get
do
my
it.
bobblehead.
I do it at the end of the day. Like I make sure to schedule that, 5 p.m. massage, and it's just a chair massage. So I'm just there, and they, and then I go have dinner, and
See, that's the ones that get you because you think it's casual because you in that little chair, you sitting upright.
Yeah,
And
they
then
start putting
that
knee on
elbow. They get that elbow in on you.
Yeah.
You start seeing the ancestors, and then it's the next day, and you wonder what happened.
Next day.
In
It's
the
the next
ancestral
day. I know.
planes.
You go to the ancestral plane on a massage. So, guys, I'm just happy that all of you have joined us. We're the BOP, and we are here, and we are excited to connect with you every week. Guys, there's just been so many things happening this week. Like, so many things. We've got mug shots rolling out. We've got. I just want your reaction because I noticed somebody's picture on their Facebook change, Hilton.
Oh my God. And it's the worst. It is the worst. Take that down. I've been meaning to tell you.
I know. It gives me a visceral reaction every time.
Scarecrow.
I
hate it.
Like, here I think I'm gonna see you, or I'm gonna see something great, and there he is staring at me.
I hate it.
What were our reactions? Mine, I will say this. I reposted a story. It was a segment from Joy from MSNBC.
Joy Reid.
And yes, Joy Reid. And she basically was saying how, Fannie Willis is the first prosecutor. And there's no offense to any other prosecutor, because I know they're working really hard to build their cases. And there is a lot that goes on to this whole time that we are living through, which is historical in its absurdity and in its craziness. But she said, how Fannie Willis was a hero to her and me, because she's the first prosecutor who demanded that they get the same treatment that any of us would have gotten if we would have committed or been accused of committing those crimes. If we would be indicted and we would be accused of committing any crime, crossing the street, whatever, if we were to go, whatever we did wrong, we would have to take a mugshot, do the fingerprints, go to the jail. Like, we'd have to do all these things, and none of these other prosecutors have done that to this man and his band of thieves. And it was very, I don't know. I was very happy to see them have to go through that process, because you know how many people have mugshots that follow them around for the rest of their life, whether they're acquitted, they're, whatever. Anything happens to them, they have this moment. It's all over social media. It's blasted, and people have to go through these things. But the rich and famous don't, or the rich and famous don't. So I was very happy. I agreed with Joy Reid, and I agreed that it was overdue. Now I would not change my profile picture because he crawl.
Well, okay. So I changed my profile picture because when it first came out, I was expecting universal, shame by this.
Yes.
And it turned around, and he raised $7 million from his cult for the picture. Yeah. And I was like, okay, this is not going the direction I was hoping in. So let me take this down, so I'm not helping the algorithm, feed it in any way. I was really putting it up there kind of like,
I knew why you did it, though. Yeah.
And you know what's crazy? I wish they had they needed to get the guy from Olin Mills that goes to the middle school to take the pictures. Because they let these dudes do their own faces and their own poses and stuff. And you know how it is. You know it's true. You know it's true. Christi, you got kids. You know they be in the when they was taking pictures. They be practicing, and then they come back looking cross-eyed and crazy because the dude will be like, you be practicing your pose, and you know you got it. And he'd be like, "No, I need you to sit back. I need you to look." And then he'll say something stupid like, you know, "All right, there, Johnny Clyde," and you'll be like, "Huh? Boom, next." And then that's
catch you right in the blink. Like,
and he wasn't there. He let these guys pose and looking like they about to cut a new album for Wu-Tang. And I was like, nah, they needed that one dude to be like, nah,
pure evil.
Look at the bird. I got a bird over here. Look at the bird, and then that be the picture. And so that's why you got that picture that looked. He was trying to look a little badass. He had advisors working with him to get his pose right and get his face right, so that it wouldn't look like what a normal pose would look like, you know. And that's my only. I'm happy it went through the process. I'm happy that we're gonna have the trial will start in March. And which is fairly quick turnaround for something like this. But yeah, I wish I wanted him in. I wanted the orange jumpsuit. I wanted the Suge Knight. I wanted the whole,
right. Well, there were special considerations because of who he was and whatever. But the funny part was the black gentleman with the black voices for Trump. Like, he's still in jail.
Yeah, he the one that couldn't make bail.
He can't make no bail.
Like, but you know what that means? He the one gonna turn states. He the one gonna turn states. He the one that's sitting up in. You seen First 48? He the one sitting in the room right now with his little cup of coffee, with the
contemplating life.
Look at all.
Eating the bologna sandwich and contemplating life decisions. Just to fuck around and find out.
Look. Christi Renee. See that brother's face come down, and he gonna.
I see them arms crossed. What were your thoughts, Christi? I love what Christi be thinking.
Well, yeah.
Christi come out with her Queen T-shirt. Give it to us, Queen. Give it to us, Queen.
Look. This is my whole mood is.
Dang, she got ensemble. You got the chord.
Sips tea. No, I think. You know, the last time we talked about this, and it was just a matter of me feeling kind of, you know, just numb to the whole thing, just because, again, I don't understand how people can get a $50 parking ticket or whatever, you know, just the most insignificant charge or so-called, you know, anything. And we're treated like show enough criminals. And yet this is a person or thing that is just the most heinous and disgusting and just, he's an absolute criminal, has been a proven criminal. And yet he gets to go in suits and have all and I get it. I get the whole presidential thing, but I feel like, when do we draw the line? Like, where is the line? And we don't, and not holding certain people accountable or to a certain standard, which, if you're going to have what they call is the highest office in the land, how do you not then hold that individual and those individuals to a much higher standard and hold them responsible for the crap that they have done, they are doing, and if we're not careful, we'll continue to do. And it's just embarrassing to be American in this society and so-called sophistication. It's like, we're not that sophisticated. Like, who are we fooling? Because look at this. It's a clown show happening. I mean, globally, on a global, you know, scale. And I just think it's embarrassing, but it's like, okay, I have been a little tickled at that dumbass that's sitting in jail. Because you the only colored folk that is in the roster, in the ranks, and then here you are. Look at you,
and fool. None of them will even come to your aid. None of those people donating to.
You raised $7 million and can't get the brother out.
And can't give the brother $100,000 bail or whatever it is.
If you watch any mob movie, you either got to do one or two things. You either got to take care of the brother who you can't get out because ain't no mob. And you got to pull them aside, like, we're going to take care of your family. We need you to shut up. You're going to be good when you come out, blah, blah, blah. Or you get him out so that everybody can get it together and feel like you're all on the same
every
team
man
and all
for
this
themselves
stuff.
over here.
But the minute all them people, all those people in that, I mean, because it's a RICO charge.
Yeah, it is.
That
That's
means if
real.
anybody in that 30 or however many people in those blocks get found guilty of anything, everybody's guilty of it.
Yep.
And that's what makes RICO so powerful, is that like we ain't got to prove Trump did anything. Once you got a RICO charge going in and he's been indicted for that, we could just pick the lowest man on the totem pole, and whatever he gets charged with, everybody getting the same time. So this is real precarious. I love the fact that the trial is set to start right before primary Super Tuesday in March. So like right before the primary process starts.
It didn't even have to be that soon, because they were saying, I was watching this whole thing today where they were saying, they kept asking them, because, they had thrown out, they said they wanted the trial to start August 26th August of 2026, right? And they were like, that's absurd. We're not going to wait 3 years. Or like, that's just not going to happen. So counter us. And the judge kept saying, counter us, and we will, accommodate. Maybe we can meet in the middle. And they dug their heels in. Like, it's the ego on that other side. And so they were like, okay, well then it's March. It's a speedy trial. Okay.
Yeah, we gave you a month and a half.
To counter. And so
extension on your term paper.
It's like the dumbest, like they're the dumbest criminals. Like, you're not taking care of the bottom feeder guy. You're not you're not countering, you're not coming up with, because you're going to have to face these things. These are 4 huge indictments. The RICO being the biggest, but it's like, these are 4 major court cases and you're acting like nothing is happening.
And the most dangerous thing about it, the most dangerous thing about it for them is that these are state charges. So there's nothing that happened at the federal level, whether he gets elected president, whether he gets pardoned. None of that stuff applies in the state of Georgia. You get found guilty by the state of Georgia, you got to report. You're not going to a federal prison. You're going to a state prison. These are state charges. And everybody knows state prison is not where you want to be. You want to be in the federal pen. If nothing else happens on the federal level, if Georgia goes wrong for him, he got to report, and it's ain't gonna be nothing you can do. The people can be out there protesting and all that stuff.
They can do
he can
all
look
they
out
want.
his window waving, but that's where he'll be. He'll be Green Mile.
Well, Karen, to your point of they're acting like they don't know, or just like it's no big deal. You know what that is, right? That is that immeasurable, grotesque amount of privilege that they're gonna choke and die on.
Well, go
literally
ahead.
right before our eyes.
I want to see it.
This
is like better than this is better than Scandal.
and I hope it's televised, because look, whatever platform.
Well, in Georgia it will be.
I'm gonna buy that platform. Tubi, I don't care. I will.
Whatever. Georgia.
Freebie.
Right.
I'm watching. I'm signing up.
It's gonna be on ABC, NBC.
It's gonna be on everything.
CBS. It's gonna be on everything, because it's gonna be like the OJ trial in Georgia. They allow cameras in the courtroom, so there is no special. It is. There is, and they're like, this is like everybody else's trial. Cameras will be there, so it'll be on every single channel, and we will watch it. I will watch every second. But guys, let's get off of this stuff, because that stuff will be there. We're going to be going through this for probably the next 2 years. And we've had a wonderful 2023 when it comes to women in film. Like, it has been record breaking. Like, it has been amazing. First, I mean, everybody, we had the Barbie movie come out, and I thought it was going to be this movie that was like, like, it's Barbie, right? You think it's Barbie. What are they going to do? This movie has grossed, guys, 342 billion with a B. It has done things that no one else thought it could do. And the reason is because it was actually a lot deeper than just a Barbie movie. It gives you all the kitschy stuff. It gives you the dream homes. Girl, I was like living my life on them dream homes. Right. It gives you the Barbie history, like all the Barbie fashion that was like really popular. You get to see it all. but it really had a movie. It really spoke to, society and just how, women are treated in this world. It spoke to, it just spoke to the confidence of women and the way that women have to really battle through just everyday living. Like, we got to do it all and then be expected to look pretty. And be expected to
do it in heels.
To wear 6-inch heels every day. Backwards. It's like, exactly. But Hilton, you and I, we saw the movie, and it was one of those things where it kind of it blew my mind. I will say this: I wasn't in the theater, and I wasn't one of those people who was like, "Oh my god!" Like, I went with a group of people after a con, and the other girls that were there, they were like, "This movie changed my life. Oh my god! Oh my god!" And I was like, I didn't feel like that. I think it's a different for a Black woman because, like, we've been living this life. We've been in these streets, Right. So for me, it wasn't like that, but I enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it. What were your thoughts about it?
I thought it was really interesting world building around a story that not everybody knew. I, as a guy, never, and I don't have any sisters, so I never was around Barbie. I never played with Barbie houses, never seen anybody playing with Barbie houses. I don't recognize any of these characters other than Barbie, but there's been just scores and scores and scores of different Barbie versions of different colors and different lives and situations. And they built a world around it and managed to tell a compelling story. It didn't take itself too seriously,
right?
And it didn't go too dark and too deep. So it was a real, interesting balance to be made, where they had this nostalgia factor that was so rich, and it was the driving force behind the movie. Nicole Robbie, the lead in this, she was brilliant as an actor, and it just went through all the Margot. There you go.
Yeah,
Margot. All of the changes and all of the acting, and a character that did not have any precedent.
Yeah.
And it was just a really well told story. Yeah. And again, they played around with the lore. They injected a lot of actual history in it. And I could feel the nostalgia in the room. I went in with a group, like a date night type group of people.
Yeah.
And wore, the pastel colors and stuff. I didn't know why. I was told to wear certain stuff. I was going to a theater. I knew I wasn't going to run into anybody I knew.
On a date.
So I'm like, okay, I'm going to wear this. And if I run into somebody, I'll just do this.
Right.
But,
you had on your pink.
I got a pink polo. I had some white shoes, and I don't know what I'm doing here, but apparently that's what the group was doing.
That's what your date asked you to do.
That is what I was.
I
take guidance.
Go ahead, Hilton.
So I was like, all right. I was like, okay, all right, no problem. I'm gonna do it.
So
got in theme,
crap.
And it was like, okay, I'm sitting in here looking like a jerk. Kind of like, but everybody in the theater was dressed this way. I was not the weird one. Yes,
I was
everybody.
The only one who didn't have it. And I was like, I didn't know we needed to wear Barbie pink. Yeah, it was very festive. It was a very festive.
Yes. But I will say this: this movie really did touch on, as you said, Karen, some real societal issues around misogyny and inequality, and the women's journey from just barefoot and pregnant, and the expectations of being a woman. And it even told a compelling story of men and the patriarchy, and understanding what that looks like, and how damaging it could be. And there's like, the whole story was vulnerable. It was, we were able to talk about all these issues without it seeming too serious. And I was just like, okay, that was a well done movie. Just a well done movie, whether it was Barbie or not. It was well told.
It was well done.
Really easy to follow. Very, very funny. Very, very.
It was really funny.
And guess who was in this movie? And I don't have her name in front of me, but the daughter in this movie, she was. I can tell you. She played in Infinity War. She played the young Gamora.
Oh yeah, Ariana Greenblatt.
Yes,
okay,
and she was brilliant.
With the names.
She was brilliant. She was brilliant in this movie.
She was really good. Okay,
she's an up and coming star.
For those of you who don't know, and I mean, 1.3 billion people have seen this movie, so at this point, we can say some details about it. But Barbie lives in this world, and it's this perfect world of Barbie, where she wakes up every day and she floats out of her dream home, and she does all these wonderful things, and it's a world of a world run by women Barbies, you know? And then you have the Ken who's at beach, you know? And the Kens are just trying
beach.
He does beach, and it's just like the Kens are just trying to fit into the world of Barbie. But Ryan Gosling does a very good job of he's a disenchanted Ken because he can't seem to get Barbie to love him, and he can't seem to fit into the world of Barbie. And Barbie wants to just have sleepovers with her Barbie friends, and you know. So anyways, out of nowhere, Barbie like says, do you guys think of death? Like the one thing that is like so like not perfect and not Barbie and not fun and happy. And they're like, what? And so she realizes that something is going on. So someone in the real world is playing with Barbie and having these, you know, this crisis. And so basically she's told by Kate McKinnon, who plays the discarded Barbie. This is the Barbie that got played with. Oh. Yeah, she's the one that got played with to the ground, and they cut her hair. And you know the Barbie that got beat up.
Such a gift.
She's that Barbie.
So much sense.
The one who gets all beat up and just Chrissy, you
played too hard with Barbie, and you got weird.
Always in a split, and it's always in a split when you find her and naked, and like it's like that's her character, right? So she tells her, like, you got to go to the real world and you got to go help this person because, you know, they're hurting. And if you help them, then everything will go back to being perfect and everything will be great. And so Margot Robbie goes and Ryan Gosling kind of stowaways, and he's like, I'm going with you, Barbie. And so they go to the real world. And what's hilarious is that Barbie is not accepted. She realizes the minute she hits the real world that men are in charge. Women have not, you know, become like Barbie hasn't, you know, created a world where women have been able to achieve all these things. This is only in Barbie world that these things happen, right? But Ken is like, oh, hell yeah, men are in charge. And so he loves it. And she, of course, is crying, and she thinks that it's the daughter, the young daughter, that is the one hurting. But she finds out that it's America Ferrera. It's her mom. And she's the one. So they go back she takes them back to Barbie world because they got to try to figure this out. And when they get back, Ryan Gosling has changed the whole Barbie world. He's put all the Barbies under a spell. And so now the men are in charge. And it's just like patriarchy, like they're massaging their feet, they're like cutting their steak, like the things that, and so of course Margot Robbie is funny. She's like on the ground, like, you know, when that Barbie gets thrown on the ground and it's just left abandoned. And she's like, just leave me here. Just leave me here. And they realize that the way out of this spell is that, you know, America Ferrera starts talking about the real world and like the things that she has to go through and the things that you have to overcome. Like you can have all the greatest ideas, and she works at Mattel and no one listens to her, and you know, and all of a sudden they pop out of it, they snap out of it, and Issa Rae is in it, and all these wonderful, you know, actresses.
So many cameos.
But one of the breakout stars of the movie is Michael Cera, who plays Alan. He is the Barbie that was the Ken that was discontinued.
One rotation and instantly canceled him.
Alan. He was instantly canceled.
Alan.
But Alan helps the Barbies take back over the Barbie world and get the Kens, you know.
Because nobody cares about Alan. The Kens don't care about Alan. The Barbies don't care about Alan. So he can kind of do what he wants. So he's just this X Factor walking around trying to get, you know, trying to get some attention.
But Alan helped save the day.
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
So it's such a good movie, and I think every little girl should see it, and every little boy. I mean, really, like all the guys who went and dressed in pink with their dates. I think that you should. I mean, it was really like what was funny to me though was there was some. I know. Well, you think there are no pictures, but I think I know enough of your friends now that I could probably dig around and we could get a picture of you in that pink polo.
I will go to Georgia prison with Trump. I'll join the case. Keep me from the outside world.
He's gonna be a part of the RICO just to evade the date photo in his pink polo.
Oh my god!
But you know what? There's another movie that was really a huge hit this year. It was, what is it? Oh, Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid. I literally go blank. Like, I think that's getting old. Is that what's getting old? When you go blank and you can't think of what you need to say in that very moment. Like it could be right here. Like it's literally here on my phone and I can't.
No, it's only
see it.
old if you start snapping and pointing, trying to find the memory. When you start doing that,
I
then
was like right there though, Hilton.
hold up. Wait.
I was just right there. I was right there. It almost
We're checking your pockets for the
I
idea.
was pointing. I was like, I was wanting Christy to jump in because like me and Christy watched Little Mermaid. Like we were like, and this is the funny thing though. This was the funniest part about Little Mermaid. Christy learned within 10 minutes that I had never seen the original Little Mermaid. I had never watched it. Because she's singing along.
That was such that's criminal. It's criminal behavior.
She's singing along with the movie, and I'm like, shut up, I'm trying to listen. And she's like, what do you mean? Confused. You've never heard this song before? And I was like, no. And she's like, you've never watched this movie?
She's trying to take your black card, your women card, your American ID card.
Well, I watched the first Little Mermaid I watched was the one led by Halle Bailey. Like, I mean, come on. That's how I did it. I did it right.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, no, Jodie Benson's amazing. I know her. She's amazing. So Christy, Christy's the Little Mermaid fan. Like, for real. Like, she is the little girl that watched Little Mermaid and was like, she got her whole life.
No,
she got her whole life.
No, the funny thing is what year did that come out? Let's look that up. So I was an adult, I'm pretty sure.
But you were in high school probably, because I remember it coming out when we were in high school.
Okay,
so it had to be like junior high school. Yeah.
So I did absolutely love it. From then, and then of course when I became a parent, all of the things that I grew up on, my kids then grew up on. So I watched that movie ad nauseum on VHS for the kids. It babysat the kids. We watched it together. I mean, you say I was singing the songs, like I was doing the script because I know the script like inside and out.
You doing the footwork in your chair?
Oh yeah, in the bed. Yeah, because we were in the bed and it was hysterical.
Oh, y'all were watching it streaming.
1989. Yeah, we watched it at the hotel because now you can just, how they have pay-per-view movies. So we just pay-per-viewed it.
It was so good.
Yeah, it was good.
Halle is beautiful.
Yeah.
Let's just get that out there.
This is what I was surprised at. And it goes back to what Christy was saying. She knew all the lines. She knew all the songs. And Christy was like quoting this movie verbatim as it was playing. So it really stuck to the original script, but did have some slight changes where, obviously now, because the original movie, by the way, came out in 1989. And so obviously, a woman giving up her voice to go after a guy because she's in love with the guy, that just kind of speaks to all the horrors that we don't want little girls to learn. So they changed it to where, she, Ursula took her voice, but she didn't just give it up. But she said, I'm going to take your voice and you'll get it back if you're able to get him to kiss you or whatever. But it was a really good movie. And I thought Halle was amazing. I thought she just had the grace and the beauty and the presence, and she's got the voice. Like that song was off the charts. But the person who I felt just really did it for me was Melissa McCarthy as Ursula. Like Ursula, she's so good, right?
She really is. Like, so good.
Good at everything. Good at everything. Yeah. So
it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about just a couple of the things that I felt like, again, I thought it was an amazing, reproduction, basically.
Yeah.
Of,
it's hard to beat the original, though.
It really is. Well,
it's hard.
Here's the thing. It's hard, number one, just to take an animated film and then bring it to life with real humans. And it's underwater. So it's that whole fantasy world. But they made it so, and again, technology has come so far and these people are so incredibly skilled at their craft, and it was visually stunning. Beautiful. Just stunning to watch. There were only the cast was great. There were a couple of things, and probably tell me
the things, because you were the original fan. You were right. You had the right to have a couple of things. You know what I'm saying? So, you're the original fan.
So the prince, they added a song in there for him, and I was like, why? It was
he really couldn't sing.
he couldn't sing for one. And then for two, it was just a little pointless. It was really cheesy. It was just unnecessary. And then they changed up a song that is absolutely classic, which is the Under the Sea song. And I thought, you know what? This is where these vocals are supposed to come out. This is what made this song so I'm picking it apart going,
Yeah.
you know, just
she was mad because the background vocals weren't where they needed to be.
I was upset. Yeah,
she was like, hold up, this is where it crescendos and it ain't crescendoing. I was
really critical.
The seahorses are off key.
Yeah. I mean, it's a musical. It's always been, those songs are timeless. They are, they're just, you know, famously significant to the film itself. And so it's like, they just changed a couple of things that I thought, I don't know. I love Javier Bardem, I think is his name. Yes, he is wonderful. Well, you know, my favorite role of him was No Country for Old Men. So I feel like he can never outdo that role. I didn't think he was the greatest King Triton, but you know, again, he's easy to look at. It's like nice to hear his voice. So I went with it. But Melissa McCarthy was phenomenal in this role. She had that rasp in her voice, and just the thing that makes her so unique in the way she just her whole essence is just so incredible. And she just brought all of that. She brought that comedy to the role as well, but she was frightening at the same time. So it was just wonderful. But Daveed Diggs, I thought was really good as Sebastian, the crab, the crustacean. And those were the main things, I think. But other than that, Hallie was hands down, this was her role. No one else could have pulled that off in today's age. She did. I mean, she was just simply phenomenal. It's like almost, I'm at a loss for words.
If you wanted to see Ariel come to life, she was a perfect casting. She had the grace, she had the innocence, she had all the things that she needed to be. And
there was another thing. Wait, there was another critique. In the original movie, I loved so much. And again, this is for all my fans, that you either a mama that, you know, raised your kids on this, or you grew up watching it and you know it like verbatim like I do. The girl who plays who Ursula turns herself into, godly, what was her name? Jasmine or something like that. But anyway, this actress I just thought was incredibly subpar. Sorry, not the actress, but the role, or the way they play, how they cast her. Because in the original, this character she's stunning, and she's you know, and she is voluptuous, and she's sensuous almost. Even again, it's a cartoon, but still they made it where she was pretty significant, where Eric the prince could not resist, you know, even though she put him under a spell, but she was still a looker. And I don't know, I just thought it was a little like, we real life now, we can go extra, we can go all the way in. So other than that, hands down, it was wonderful. I loved it.
Yes. Okay. I agree. It was a really good movie. But the one, guys, that for those of y'all who don't know, we've been waiting for this TV series to come out ever since we heard it was going to be, ever since we saw this character in The Mandalorian. We have been waiting for Ahsoka, and we are Ahsoka. You know, say it right, Ahsoka. I don't want the 501st.
Hold it in the airstrike. They're gonna get us.
Ahsoka. Ahsoka. It was our bestie, Rosario Dawson. I mean, I don't know who else could have played this character. I've never seen Rosario in a character like this, but I've been watching like a lot of the interviews she's been doing, and how she says she had to train and how she had to submerge herself, and it was such a life-changing thing for her to take on this character. And again, I think we said on another episode, I never really gotten into, you know, the animation version of this character. I didn't know much about it, but when I saw her come up in The Mandalorian, I was like, oh! And to know that there's a series, the first 2 episodes have come out, and we watched them. What are our thoughts, guys? Because I know Hilton is our
Star
He's
Wars
our
expert.
Star Wars expert. You're
Give me
usually
that
the
title, because
expert.
there's real
You're
experts
usually
out there who
that's okay.
cue up their computer when they hear someone say that.
They're like,
Crack
what?
their knuckles,
What?
turn
They're
their
like,
computer to all
let's see what
caps.
let's see what
And they
he's gonna
crack
say.
their neck.
Let's get ready
Right?
for what he's gonna say. What were our first thoughts of this series? Because I'm loving it. I'm loving the way it just came out the box.
The great thing about Rosario Dawson in this role is that she was fan casting before she was cast. Like, so when she was in, Star Wars Rebels and the Clone Wars as the animated character, people were saying, oh, who should play her? And everyone was like, Rosario Dawson, Rosario Dawson. So by the time you saw her in The Mandalorian, there was already like a huge fan base that was waiting to see her on screen as Ahsoka, right? So it was like, she had the wind behind her back. It was hers to lose, and she knocked it out of the park in an amazing episode, a standout episode in that standout series, The Mandalorian. So what I was telling people about the character is that she is so much more a key factor in the Star Wars lore than people may realize, because most of what she did was in the animated series and not in any of the movies. So we don't automatically know her like we know some of the other characters, because she was behind the scenes in the Jedi Academy. She was Anakin's Padawan before he turned to Vader. She left the Jedi Order before he turned to Vader, and before Order 66 killing, to kill and get rid of all the Jedi. So her storyline is just really like woven all the way through. Yeah. So when she gets out here on this screen, and you got to remember, Lucasfilms has got an amazing studio. It's got amazing special effects. They've got amazing writers, and it's second only perhaps to Marvel in, how they can tell their stories. And this first two episodes come out and you see everything that you love about the characters. Yes. There's so much nostalgia built in. If you watch Star Wars Rebels, if you watch the Clone Wars, you know these characters, they just shove it in your face. They do not shy away from those storylines. They pick up a lot of the stories where they left off in the animated series. But if you didn't, and the only thing you know about this character is from The Mandalorian, you're still getting some really great storytelling. And it was just really, really great introducing this sector of the world that we've only seen in CGI in animated series coming to life. Yeah. And I'm really excited to see what they do with the series. And like I said, Rosario is a perfect cast for it. Acting is even down to her moves. She has moves that she does with her lightsabers that are endemic to her character. So if you watched her in the animated series, she has very signature moves with her two sabers. Yeah. And they even wrote that into the fight choreography. Yeah. So they are paying such homage to her there. So it's such a great thing to watch.
It is. Well, they said, like she said, she has never done a role where she had to spend like 15-hour days just fight training. Like just for, like she said, I've never in my life physically, mentally dove into a character as much as I have for this one. And it's just because it had to be on that level. Like she knew. And I think the creators knew. They were like, okay, well, if we're going to do this, we got to make sure she is who she, she breathes life into everything we've created, in the animation series. So Christi, what were your thoughts? Because we already we're in love with Rosario. Like Rosario can go wrong. Like, we love her. What were your thoughts?
Well, again, you can't say it enough. We do love her. We claim her as a bestie. We sat at the lunch table with her. So it's like we are connected forever. And, we were already
fans.
She would
not know us in a lineup, but we know her.
No, wouldn't have a clue. However,
it's okay though. It's okay.
However, we got her no matter what, and so that was one of the main things that drove me to this. Because y'all all know, everybody that pays attention to the BOP knows, I know Billy D Star Wars. I know, and now I know John Boyega Star Wars. But that's kind of the extent of my, I know most of the main characters, but this was new for me. However, I watched it. It took me, I'm so glad that they opened up with the the words, because I gotta read and understand what the hell am I looking at?
What are we about to face?
What universe am I in right now? I have no idea what's going on. So that is very helpful. So I always appreciate that signature move that they do, that Lucasfilms does for this project. again, visually stunning. It is such a treat for the eyes to watch all these wonderful things that they can do with, this screen work. Her costuming alone is
Mhm.
phenomenal. I just want to touch the things that are, is that like her body? Is that
It's
her
her like
brain?
it's
I don't know what's going
she's
on with it.
See,
I
I
had to like
can't say that. I can't
I
say
was
on
on
TV that
Google.
I want to touch the things on
I
Rosetta's
want to
Puffy.
touch
Right.
That would be taken the
things.
wrong way. But I'm glad you said it,
Yes,
and then I can
yes,
piggyback off of that
yes.
and feel safe.
So I know
You know,
that
I
when
Googled, I was like, is Ahsoka, is she human? Like, I need to,
it's
like, and she's not, and it's all, me, I'm Googling as I watch. Um,
yes, and I
yeah,
just have to say something about how incredibly just beautifully made she is. That again, you got to be really beautiful to be a beautiful alien, right? Because I mean,
be
or to be
orange.
some odd thing. And she is
Yeah,
just, she's stunning. So she's easy to watch, move, and do these things. I do like the storyline too. I
yeah,
will say this, and this is probably going to be the extent of my breakdown, because I'm learning through this process as I
yeah.
watch these episodes. But
I
in the
am too. I
beginning,
didn't watch Clone Wars. I didn't watch any of it.
right. Okay,
You
good.
know,
So here's
so
what
me
I
too.
felt. I felt connected to something because there were some things that are pretty familiar that made me feel like, oh, this reminds me, with the orb. It reminds me of Galaxy of the Guardians of the Galaxy, and then they're chasing Thrawn or whatever his name is,
Yep.
and it's like, oh, is that Thanos? That's like that. So I make these
Oh God,
connections, but it's a good thing for me because I'm all things
that guy,
Marvel, but
good guy.
yeah. So then there was a moment where they're standing out on that platform doing the dedication of the memorial, to that crew who, again, I don't know any of them, but I'm like, I'm going with it. I'm learning. And it reminded me of Hunger Games for some reason. So I thought this is bizarre. It's with the new Republic, which is supposed to be the better Republic, but it's like, it was a little awkward, but
Yeah,
so yeah, there were so many moments that I just really enjoyed and I was able to connect to. So that's what I like, is that
right,
if you haven't seen, that's the only way I can appreciate these things and start watching them, is you can connect to them whether or not you've seen all of the stuff in the
right.
canon. You don't have to have watched everything, because Lord have mercy, just like Game of Thrones, I ain't never probably gonna watch Game of Thrones ever in my life, but I did connect with House of the
Mhm.
Dragon. So
Yes,
so this is another one and I'm excited. I know what is it,
awesome.
Tonight, was it Tuesday nights they
Yes,
released the new
Yeah, it's
episodes.
very interesting that they do that.
they
It's one of the
changed
first
it.
series where the show does not come on until a time certain on the day, whereas
Yeah,
Mandalorian, if you waited till 2 a.m. on the night before,
yeah,
you could watch it if you were just going to
yeah.
stay up and catch it early. But you can't catch Ahsoka early. You got to be in front of your TV at 9 if you want to see it first, which I think is a
Yeah,
really interesting choice
I
for
love
command
that.
television. The thing I wanted to make note of, and Christy touched on this, uh, you know, the Rebels and the Clone Wars animated shows were made for kids. So a lot of the
Mm,
people that know this lore, they kind of grew up watching it.
Yeah,
And as an adult, it's not the easiest thing for an adult to digest because it's very boiled down
it's
storylines. It's
simplicity. Yeah,
not very
simple.
simple, so it's
Hmm.
not complicated, but it also can be less than compelling watching because you're used to the Mandalorian, you're used to these other stories and Andor and stuff like that. So
yeah.
for anybody out there who's thinking, "Oh my God, I didn't watch any of these shows," I recommend you do this. Go on YouTube. There's probably half a dozen breakdowns
Yes,
that are
I
probably
did.
titled, everything you need to know about Ahsoka before Ahsoka. Is probably 44
Yeah.
minutes just to kind of get you through the Cliffs Notes. And that's all you need, because
Yeah,
there's like 5 seasons of these shows, and who's got time for that,
nobody.
as an adult. So, if you're gonna try and catch up and you want to just save a life, get on YouTube, do that. And it won't penalize you. And I don't think anybody
Yeah,
would penalize you for not being
And
expert because Lord knows I didn't even watch all of that.
right.
Hilton, I actually took your advice. I
Yeah.
started I started watching something like a Screen Crush, something another that
Hmm.
was, well, let me tell you what. 3 minutes in, the person broke away and started talking about way too many other things that didn't have nothing to do with the show. And I literally, I said, never mind. I'm just going to put it on. And I put it
Yeah,
on and I love it. So
yeah.
you don't
You don't
necessarily
have to
even have
be.
to do the
Yeah,
catch up, because they do make certain references. Like if you're really that curious, they're gonna, you can go and do the research. But I like how they still tie things in and make it,
Mm-hmm.
if it's something, there's a reference to something, then they kind of give you a visual to show you why that reference is important.
Yeah.
And then they'll circle back to it later, I'm sure, as we progress in the series. But I'm gonna say one thing though that I thought was a little weird.
What?
And this is any of us who are
Star Wars, there's no
filmmakers.
such thing. There's no such thing as weird in Star Wars world.
Well,
Like, I
no,
mean,
this
we
is
got
this is more of a production note, I guess.
okay.
I
Okay.
felt like I love hearing the sabers and the spaceships and all of that. But you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like in the sound is missing, and it messes up the impact for me. This is just for my ears and how I hear and I see. Like I want to hear what I see, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything. And so there's like a fight scene where the ship that one vessel has escaped, and they're trying to, I don't know anybody's names, but the one general that's trying to go get the locator put on the ship. This is in the second episode. And so
Morgan Elizabeth,
yes, yeah,
Elsbeth.
no.
You said the
Yeah, I think she
general.
is on the ship, but
Okay, but go
she
ahead. Go ahead.
so
Sorry.
so Ahsoka is left to fight these two individuals, and I don't know who the identity of a person that looks like a Mandalorian, but I don't think it's a Mandalorian. I don't know what those are.
Girl, you like around the back, around the corner. Good to the point.
Well, I'm just trying to say there's
and
a
then
fight scene, and I just wish that we could
okay.
hear like some of the kicks. We're not hearing she kicked
Oh,
somebody in the chest several times, and I kept 2 episodes. I was like, there's something off to me. I don't know what
really?
it is, and it just didn't feel as exciting as what we're used to seeing, where you can hear the gravel move if somebody's foot drags, if we're
Right.
watching some
Right.
other superhero, fantasy things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so that was the only thing. But other than that, like I said,
Huh.
this is just a production note. This is not, it doesn't
Yeah.
take away from the show itself, but I'm loving watching it.
It
So,
may be
but yeah.
that may be something that's happening because you're watching it either on a computer or like when you watch
Mm-mm.
Disney Plus, you're
I'm
watching
watching on a
it.
big TV.
You're watching on. Oh yeah, because I thought the sound was great. Like I was like, ooh, like
Well, the sabers
I
sound
cranked it
wonderful,
up.
but I feel like that's all I'm really hearing, I guess. And that just could be
Interesting.
my
Yeah.
ear
Yeah.
holes.
it's subjective, right?
I
I
might
know.
be.
Holes
Well,
are
I will
subjective.
tell you, yeah, ear holes are subjective. One thing I will say is I loved just coming out of the, just the first 2 episodes. There were instantly some breakouts that I was just like, oh, and one of them is we saw her in The Mandalorian. This is where we first saw Ahsoka. She battled Morgan Elsbeth, which is actually a friend of mine.
She
The
is
woman
so
who plays
dope.
her, Diana Lee. She is.
I like her.
I know her because this is the funny story. Everything goes back to Power Rangers. Like everybody and their mama had been on that show at one time or another. See, the Forston took Christi out. We cannot see you, Christi. You have a black screen. Anyways, the woman who plays Morgan Elizabeth, Diana Lee, in Power Rangers, there was an episode where we turn into kids, right? It was at the end of season 3. Anyways, one of those kids, Diana is his stepmom.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. And so when we first when I first saw her on screen, and I remember one of my Power Ranger friends goes, that's his stepmother. And I was like, what? So of course we go to a Comic-Con, we see her, and I was just like, I was like the Force took Christi out. But I was telling them that the woman who plays Morgan Elizabeth, who's like the main, she's the one who wants the power, and she's the kind of the evil.
Yes.
She's played one of the guys from Power Rangers when we had turned into kids. That's his stepmother. And so, of course, I instantly was like, oh, I got to meet her. And so she is the nicest woman. So for me, I was so proud that they were able to bring her character back from that, just that fight scene in The Mandalorian. And she's now a part of this huge series. And I remember talking to her like last year or the year before, 2 years ago. And she was like, they got some things I can't talk about, but some cool stuff's in the works. So now to see what was in the works, I'm like, and she's amazing. But this is the thing. She is like part of martial arts royalty. Like her father fought with Bruce Lee. Like it's like she is a part of that world where she's learned martial arts and known martial arts for so many years. And like she started off as a stunt woman, and has worked her way into being a lead actress of a series just because she's had this skill, and she was so dope when they gave her the chance to be in like one scene, and now she's like, oh, so I'm very
They
excited.
definitely expanded the storyline, because the forces that she is a part of is not hasn't really been touched on as far as any of the other series. So the fact that it's not being set up as the typical Jedi versus Sith, pairing off, or Rebels versus Empire, storyline is going to be really interesting, because they can do a lot with it. Because remember, Ahsoka's not a Jedi. She left the Order. She is not a Jedi or a Sith. She is not beholden to Jedi ways or Jedi dogma or a Jedi council. So she's going to be able to make all kinds of decisions that don't fall within the typical Jedi way that we know, right?
Yeah.
So seeing her adversary, obviously being Thrawn, who is going to be played by the voice actor for Thrawn from the animated series.
Yes.
Just like we saw Clancy Brown playing the character in real life that he did the voice for in Rebels. So there was a lot of really great cameos. Yeah. They're going to keep doing this all the way through. They are going to give us all of these Easter eggs. And while, like I said, it is digestible and enjoyable if you don't know the backstory and you're not a fan of these two series, the nuggets that are out there will happen, just like after every episode, there's going to be some breakdown videos that come out. I highly recommend people watch those, because there is so much going on that, just like with any of the Marvel stories, like, oh, I missed that. There's going to be a lot of lore
internet for
on.
that. Yeah, I love the internet, and I love YouTube for that, because it's honestly like the way you can break down an episode, and like you said, there's so much Star Wars history, so it's not like any of us know any of that. Like there's just no way. I mean, there's like probably 10% of the world who's watched everything and analyzed everything, and they can tell us everything.
They're all in the 501st.
Yes, yes.
Those guys can do it. We regular people can't do it.
Yeah, like we are totally muggles out here, talking about this. But it can break it down for you. It can break down those storylines. A couple of shout outs to some of the people that stood out to me. I love the girl who plays Shin. She was the blonde, like kind of bad girl, and she comes and she just like her look, her eyes, like she just was a presence. Like I think she might have had like maybe 10 lines the whole 2 episodes, but just her presence when she shows up and she's ready to battle. I mean, I loved everything about her, and I can't wait to see what happens with that.
There's going to be a story with her. She's got the Padawan braid, so there's some throwbacks in there. They're like, okay, I see what y'all about to do.
Right? Oh, I can't wait. So this series has just started. We just got the first 2 episodes, so we will definitely come back and touch on it once it's over with, because we want to, dissect it and hopefully learn some things and enjoy the beauty and the art that they're making. I do want to send a shout out to Ray Stevenson, who was an actor. Yes. He's one of the main guys. He passed away. And I believe he completed this whole series. So we're going to see him. But unfortunately he didn't, he's no longer with us, and he didn't get to enjoy seeing the series unfold. But they did a beautiful, after the first episode, they dedicated it to their friend. And I just thought that was great. I know that kind of hurt the cast, but I'm looking forward to see what he does. I'm looking to the character Sabine. I'm looking forward to seeing. I mean, we saw her. She went from, you can tell she's like the hothead. She's crazy.
Yeah. She's arcing. She's arcing.
Yeah, she arcs. Yeah, and she like cut her hair, and she's like, "Please give me another chance."
She's a Mandalorian. She's an actual Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And whether you look this up or not, I don't know if they're going to bring this into the story, but she actually had the Darksaber before Bo-Katan and before Moff Gideon. Like she actually was the first one to wield it. And so she's been like in the middle of this Mandalorian story from start to finish. So I'm wondering if they're going to weave some of that into this as well. I'd love to see some Mandalorians show up on screen.
Ooh,
that'd be a really cool storyline to go forward.
It would. I can't wait. And, I can't wait to see Hayden Christensen. He is supposed to come back.
Yes, he's going to make a cameo.
Anakin will come through. And so, this is before he turns into Darth Vader. So
definitely
if you're confused on the storyline, we are going to get Anakin Skywalker at some point make an appearance. And for that alone, watch the show.
Yes.
You got to watch it. Yes.
Now, just a quick note, and I don't know if we emphasize it enough for the people listening, but this show is almost entirely female leads. There's maybe 2 characters that are male, Rey's Jedi character or Force using character, and the yet to be introduced Grand Admiral Thrawn. Everybody else is women. So in theme with the idea that it was so seamless that we almost forgot to like really highlight it, that all the leads and all the plot nuggets are sitting on the shoulders of these women lead actors. And there'll be some men that get introduced to the story either in this series or the next season. But the fact that this is so women forward, I think is right on point with your opening statement for the show. And it's just, it's really, really well done, and it's a really great watch.
I love it. I know women are ruling the world right now in television and film, and we are, it's overdue. So
this is a perfect moment to also, again, as we try to do every chance we get, our fearless leader here at the BOP, Karan Ashley, we celebrate and salute you as part of the 30th anniversary for Power Rangers. That Power Ranger Day was yesterday. It was awesome. And of course, I hands down, because I know 3 female Power Rangers who are phenomenal, and just forces to be reckoned with on a daily basis. And so we love you, we salute you, and we thank you. And so
thank you.
Those of y'all who don't know this one right here, she is the fan favorite everywhere she goes. Everywhere people just fall out, and it's a trip. Christy, you'll attest to this because she's our friend, so we're kind of chill. We recognize the skills, but we're chill. But then we watch people like who are just like, and we're kind of like, what's about to happen? Are you okay? Do you need to breathe? You need to sit down? And it's just like so amazing to see your effect of the work that you've done and what you mean to the series and what you mean to the fans. It's just something that we don't get to say enough of. And yes, I'm all with you on that, Christy. Thank you for
round of applause.
Let's total round of applause. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. I'm mad as hell because if Power Rangers turn 30, that means I can't be 35 anymore. Dang it!
Something questionable.
Hey, look, we don't do math at the BOP. You want to be 35? You can be 35. I don't know.
For the rest of my life. maybe I'm 40 now. Now I'm 40, right? Now I'm 40 and fabulous. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
You Latina and Black. You can't age.
I won't age. Yeah, that's true. I got a lot of genetics working in my favor. May it forever be in your favor. It's in my favor. Yes, it was National Power Rangers Day. We turned 30. That's crazy. I honestly feel like it was yesterday. It's crazy, but it's a beautiful thing, and I'm excited. But guys, that's the end of our episode. I want to send a shout out to all the women working in film, all the women leads, all these wonderful stories. If you've not seen Barbie, Ahsoka, or The Little Mermaid, go check them out because it's worth it. I mean, you've got female directors, you've got female producers, you've got female lead actresses. I mean, it is just amazing storytelling. So watch it. Girls,
fellas, put your thug card in the glove compartment. Go see the movie. Don't listen to the Andrew Tate mafia telling you it's this or that. Go see it. It's a great movie. It was really good.
Funny as hell.
It's good. Definitely don't cheat yourself.
Don't cheat yourself. Guys, thank you for watching the BOP, the BLERD Official Podcast. I can't even talk. We love you. We mean it. It is our time to go. We're so sad, but hey, we love you. Bye, guys. Bye.
Tune in every Tuesday for a new episode of the BOP, the BLERD Official Podcast.
Yay! Oh, I'm not even going to have to edit that. I'm just going to chop the top and chop it back.
You ain't
exactly. All you have to do is that.
Why have we not been doing this before? I don't even understand.
Because you said you wanted to do your own thing, so I was like, okay, but we have the clips.
I did. I don't know why. I'm a fucking nut. I work hard. I work harder, not smarter, most of the times. I'm trying to work smarter and not harder.
Yes.
So
yeah. So whenever we do that, we can
2023 is
really
supposed to
do
be
that in the beginning and end, and then all you have to do is just clip it where you need to clip it.
Great episode, guys. Great episode.
Hey, look, you know what? It's a lot to talk about, and we're going to have a lot to talk about. So, you know, if we can get Dana, can we get some screeners, please? Can we get some of these
Karen
folks?
actually talked about that.
Yeah, I want to get some screeners so we don't have to go hunting, go up in the theaters. I want to be that person that sees it all early and be bragging about it online. And
I actually talked to the people from Warner Brothers and Sony. I told Karen I got to fill out a form. And then once we're approved, we'll get notified. And as I told Karen, when they do these advanced screenings, the public is first come, first serve on the seats. And then if you don't get a seat, you don't get it. But they reserve seats for the press. So once we have that, we have reserved seats. We just come in and we'll be able to watch it. So she emailed me the link today that I need to fill out, and then that way we can be considered for Warner Brothers and Sony for their screenings.
All right, let's get it going. That'd be great.
Yeah,
I'd be getting mad watching people. They ain't got no podcast. They ain't got not like what you doing up on the screener. You know, how you get
right? They ain't got nothing, and they in there every time posting.
You and your dusty LinkedIn. Going in the movies, ain't fair.
Just wrong. Well, guys, let's shoot for next Tuesday because I'm off this weekend. So, well, not really. I still got some stuff to do. I know. I got to go.
You're not at a Funko Pop booth.
I'm not. No, I've got to go. Actually, I'm going to Entertainment Earth on Thursday, and I'm doing an unboxing of one of my action figures. But
nice.
Yeah, so hopefully, I can get us some presents when I go up in there.
And we need somebody to film that.
I know. Well, they're filming it. They're gonna do the whole thing. So we'll be shooting in their studio. So
okay.
While we're on Dana, I don't want to forget. I know it'll be next weekend before we really can start doing it, but can we get on board for Dragon Con? Get official somehow. Maybe get a panel, get something. It's not. I know it's not easy. It's not easy.
Yeah,
Dana, y'all don't have like an application. Like you got to send a random email to the department head, and it's a
huge show. It's a huge show run like a mom and pop shop. Like it's like
yes, exactly.
It's so weird.
It is an absolute perfect way to describe
it. Dragon Con, they're pretty fixed on this is how we've done it kind of thing versus like MomoCon is like, all right, we're updating. We're having a single spot where you can apply all that. There is a different thing. But I told Karen before we joined, I was talking to the digital media track and they were like, yeah, the BOP is digital media. And they were like, let's talk this weekend so we can get, the four of you as guests for our on our track. And I was like, all right, cool, let's talk. I'll see you on Friday because I'll see them on Friday for the first panel I have with them.
Perfect. But so next year, guys, we'll try to work it out.
Trying to get us as guests for 2024.
I know they hating on us, but we trying to make it in this world.
Yeah,
trying to make it.
Yeah. Right now is one of those you got to know folks, and you got to have folks to recommend you, and then after that,
I know Jabbar was trying to work his magic for me, and I was like, baby, just let it go because these people they own one.
They got some old folks up there that's been doing it one way. Like when somebody hit you with a Netscape email address, you're like, okay, this is not going to work out at all. Like,
oh my gosh,
Hilton, there's a few of them that got AOL emails.
Oh Lord,
Lord. Oh. We will all be in New York for New York Comic Con. So we'll still keep sending me links so that we can find something. Cause we'll get, like I said, we're going to get a camera mic kind of situation so that you guys can be filming and we can have some content that we can, create while we're there.
Yes.
The three of
them.
But yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out this week, but thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you so much.
Y'all.
Your time.
See you next week.
Yes. See you next Tuesday. All right.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. And put in the chat if you think of something cool we can cover next week, because I don't have anything as of now. All right.
Okay.
Yes.
But you know what
Like
we never covered
Blue
was the
Beetle and
Flash.
Gran Chorizo.
Well, I know, like the Flash, we never even covered that, and
Yeah,
it's
and
on
that's
Disney
on Max
Plus now.
Yes.
It's on HBO
It's
Max.
on Max
You have
now.
it?
Yes.
Yeah,
can
so we
watch
can
that.
all
I
we
got
can all
Max.
watch it. So let's watch that, and then we'll throw something else in there and mix it up.
Okay.
All
So
right.
yeah. All right, y'all. Have a good
Bye.
weekend.